Hi, I'm Will Roland from Be More Chill, and this is iHeartRadio Broadway.
iHeartRadio Broadway, driven by Mercedes-Benz. The best or nothing.
I made my Broadway debut in 2016 in Dear Evan Hansen. I went to New York University, the Steinhardt School for Culture, Education, and Human Development. My favorite moment in Be More Chill occurs in the second act. It is a scene between Jeremy and Christine. I think it's the longest book scene in our very music-heavy musical. And Jeremy and Christine are on this couch at the Halloween party. They've both had really sort of terrible experiences at this party, and it's sort of like you can tell it's late, the party's falling apart, and they encounter one another on this couch. They have this interaction where, sort of exhausted, it becomes clear to each other that they're interested. They're like, oh, something romantic might happen here. Jeremy ends up totally blowing it, but they have this wonderful nonverbal communication throughout the scene that I just think is really, really elegant and really captures like love and affection in a way that you don't always see on stage. If I was stranded on a desert island, the Be More Chill characters that I would want with me to help me survive, or more than survive, I would want Jake because he's pretty athletic. He's pretty buff. He's got a lot of special skills. I bet that he was like a Boy Scout, so he can probably like start a fire and tie knots and stuff. And the other person that I would want to have with me is Chloe, because she is like an aggressive hunter-gatherer, and I think that she would help us find food and defend us from any sort of hostile forces that we might encounter. My favorite backstage visitor that we've had was very early on in the run. Richard Kind came to the show. We've had a lot of like very cool people come to our show, a lot of writers and social media influencers and actors and people like that. But Richard Kind, to me, occupies this beautiful space among performers as a sort of unabashed character actor who always manages to find a lot of heart and pathos and comedy in everything that he does, and he's the kind of guy I look up to. My favorite encounter with a fan was I received in the mail like a beautiful, really highly crafted knit doll of Jeremy, and the like level of detail in this yarn creature was so extraordinary. He had like little lace glasses and a backpack that you could take on and off. It's the kind of thing that you could sell for like $1,000 in a like fancy toy boutique, but was given to me as a gift from a fan. Growing up, the performer that I wanted to be more than anyone else was Brian Stokes Mitchell. And as I have sort of, moved through my life a little bit, the careers that I've really come to admire are, I'm like obsessed with Steve Buscemi, and also with Jerry Orbach. I think that those guys have just incredible careers in terms of the roles that they have played and the ways that they have inhabited them. My dream is to like create a role like Jerry Orbach as Lumiere in Beauty and the Beast. It's like that was such a major influence on me as a performer and me as a person, and I just like would love to create something that has a similar effect on little people. My mentors in the industry include my good friend Joe Iconis, who entered this game a little bit before I did, and we've sort of come up together, which has been really fun. I also I have a dear friend, Michael Park, over at Dear Evan Hansen, who is a great influence on me. He's been around. He was in the original cast of Violet and Smokey Joe's Cafe, and we have just become great friends. And he's a great like sort of mentor to me as I go on my acting journey. My bucket list of roles, I always love to say the number one role is a role that has not been written yet, which is really corny, but I really do love developing new work, and I love working with writers and directors, so that's number one. It's this thing that no one has thought of yet, that's going to be the greatest thing you've ever seen. I would love to play John Adams in 1776. I think that role is just hilarious and fun, and I also would love to play Sweeney Todd before I die. I think that would be a blast. If I could only have 3 cast albums for the rest of my life to survive on, it would be the Batboy cast album, the Les Mis cast album, and the Be More Chill cast album, because they all slap. I'm 30. Yay!